Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level, went to a junior college, went to Cal, and just blew up there. And then, of course, is a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Going to throw again. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
19!
On play action, now Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
319! 319!
And again, it's Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
When we start looking for big-time corners, we're going to start with athleticism. But without technique, you're not going to make plays as one we just saw there.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. And Crosby puts it through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And what really attracts people to him? A passionate leader, controls a huddle really well, controls the locker room, and also throws with anticipation and accuracy, especially evident when he throws the deep ball.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
When I see Latavius Murray with the ball in his hands, I think that he's a dangerous player. He has good speed, good presence to run inside, nice toughness, and good vision that once he gets past the first line of defense, he can make a guy miss and turn it into a bigger game.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Clay Matthews may have been a late bloomer in college, just a one-year starter at USC, but he's made up for lost time in the NFL. A 6-time Pro Bowler whose versatility has the Packers using him inside and outside and trying to create the best matchups for him to get to the quarterback. That's the number one thing about his game, but I think he's improved as a run defender throughout his time in the NFL.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now the Packers get set to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield.
319!
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
319! 258!
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
First down, here's Cousins. And complete, right side to Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll make it 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 67 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. 319! They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Cousins now. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Trevor Davis, deep for Green Bay. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up first and 10 at the 34. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10. The give to Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. The Packers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Rodgers now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Graham. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Rodgers. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Everson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Crosby puts it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now come the Vikings. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
On 2nd down, Cook. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-6 our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A give. This is Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And this is going to be Packer football. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. first down. Here's the run with Cook. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Handoff comes to Cook. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Second down, Cousins. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll run here. It's Murray. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They run, Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it, rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins to throw it. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. To the football, it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
That's our ball, baby. That's our ball, yeah.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
319! 258!
Now Rodgers operating from the gun. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On the carry, it's Cook, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our Players Spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Packers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught. Jones. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. The give is to Jones. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
319! 319
They'll run it with Jones. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
319!
To throw is Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
319!
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Equanimous St. Brown, 37 yards. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Cook following the penalty, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3. The hunt, Eddie! Where's the hunt? 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. That's pulled in at the 32. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Rodgers. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Rodgers now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7.
319! 319
Rodgers again now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And Crosby puts it through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Here comes Sherrills. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
We got three.
Now Cook. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing his Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
319! 319!
On 1st down, Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
319!
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Cousins now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Again, it's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now a 2nd down run for Murray. Oh, the spin. Murray, strong running, and still fighting. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. Don't like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Throwing is Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wondered if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Cousins on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A huge play there, Cousins to his tight end Rudolph. And even 70 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On 1st down, Murray. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. they got the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, there weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. They'll start out on the ground with Jones, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
319.
Again, it's Jones. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end, Graham. Packer first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
58.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
319.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Operating from the gun. Rodgers throwing middle, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rodgers operating from the gun. And this is caught at the 8. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Equanimous St. Brown, his second touchdown of the night. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First down, here's Cousins. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. taken at about the 16. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now it's Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A give to Jones. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. A first down throw for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Off the play fake, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Caught by Cobb. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Rodgers now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. And again, it's Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Rodgers to throw once more. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
And, yep, as a result, knocks it down. So a big spot now for Crosby, but he's been here before. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Here they come, here they come, here they come. Run, 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 run. Blitz.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Cousins on first down. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there, and it'll be second down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll throw again. Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins now to throw on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A very solid gain of 27.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. A give. This is Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really, by the way?
That he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
And barely able to knock it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Jones. Powerful running. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
319!
On first down, Rodgers sheds off the tackle. Throw left side complete. It's Adams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw, Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
To throw is Rodgers. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. On second down, Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. And that's complete to Lewis. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. This is Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll go again to Jones. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Third down, here's Jones. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball in the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. He's hit 3 times already, and this for the win. And Crosby's kick is good. The veteran Mason Crosby comes through like he's done so many times before. And there'll be some happy cheeseheads tonight as the Packers have won the game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.